City Radio at 10 a.m.
I know y'all always see me fumbling. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Audrey Ann Moses, and this is a moment with Dr. Audrey Ann. And I'm just wanting to say, hey, everybody. It's a wonderful day and the start of a new month. What are you going to do this month? What are you going to do? You got plans, you're going on vacation, you're going to the beach. And yeah, we all know tomorrow's 4th of July, we know. So you're going to have something on the grill and something in the oven, we know. But what else are you going to do for the rest of the month? What are your plans? So now you know you can always call and let me know what you're going to do. So this is Emerald City Radio, and this is Dr. Audrey Ann Moses, and we are at 102.7 FM and 1090 AM. And so what are we going to talk about today? Today is one of those days where I usually have a script set up. I usually have something in mind I want to talk about. And but today I just really wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about. So I got up this morning. It was so nice outside. I was talking to the Lord, and I was like, okay, what we going to talk about today? What is it that you think that people need to hear today? And it took a couple of hours for him to answer me. But what he said was, a lot of times people, they get into a struggle, they get into a rut, they get into a dark place. I used to call it my madness. I'm in my madness today. But we get into those places, and then we feel like we're stuck there. And we are not stuck. God does not allow us to be stuck anywhere. We allow ourselves to be stuck, but God is not going to allow us to be stuck. So all this year, I've been talking about how we're going to align ourselves for what is our purpose for 2025. We've been talking about making plans. We've been talking about getting help where we need it, going to school, or talking to getting some mentors. We talked about getting a mentor. Sometimes we talked about just writing down what our dreams and desires are, and then figuring out how are we going to work those things. I even introduced you all to smart charts and just different technical things that you can use. So, and we've talked about self-esteem. We've talked about how do we make ourselves positive? How do we make ourselves be in a position so that we can move forward within ourselves, within ourselves, how we can recognize who we are in a positive way, how we can understand what our self-value and our self-worth is in a possible way, how we can identify ourselves in a positive way, how we can upgrade our self-esteem. Get out of the dumps, get up on the balcony, as I would say, and my friend Dr. Adolph Brown would always say, get out of the basement, get on the balcony, because today is a great day, and today is the best day to make that move, So there's a song. Well, first of all, I heard a slogan today from another friend of mine that I hadn't heard in a while, but it is so true. And what she was saying is that we are more than our circumstances. We are more than the diagnosis that the doctor has given us. We are more than that grade that the teacher gave us. We are more than the letter of warning that the employer gave us. We are more. And why are we more? We are more because God made us more. God made us more because he has a plan for us on this earth. And it is impossible for us to move forward with that plan if we consider ourselves to be less. God did not make less. God made us perfect. It's up to us to live in that world. It's up to us to live in a place where we can do what we were put on this earth to be. Now, what could that be? It could be anything. You know, God put me on this earth to be a sailor, which I was and still am. He put me on this earth to be a sailor. He put me on this earth to be a teacher. He put me on this earth to be an author. He put me on this earth to be a counselor. He put me on this earth to be a great wife, which I am. He put me on this earth to be a great wife. He put me on this earth to be a great mom and grandmom and great-grandmom and aunt and sister and all of those things. So when you think about yourself, think about what are all the reasons that God put you on this earth. Did he only put you on this earth to be in whatever it is you do at your job? Is that the only reason he put you on this earth? Is the only reason he put you on this earth is to be a deacon or a deaconess or an elder or a pastor at some church? Is that the only reason he put you on this earth? No. Actually, if you can't do all the other things, if you can't be a good neighbor, if you can't be a good family member, if you can't be, a good citizen, how can you be a good pastor? How can you be a good deacon or a good deaconess or a good legislator or a good president? How can you be any of those things if you don't start from the bottom, being good at what is most important, and that's being kind and helpful to other people? Because that's what it was all about love. God put us on this earth to love other people and to help take care of other people. So I just want to talk for a minute about some of the things that I feel are important when it comes to allowing yourselves to understand exactly what it is that God put you on this earth for. So let's start with just basic circumstances. You are a young adult. I know some kids, young adults, they listen to this radio station, and teenagers. And so I'm just going to say this. You maybe didn't get the best grades that you wanted to get. Okay. I tell you what, I was a C student until I got into my college. Literally, I was a C student. I got, I bet in all 12 grades, I bet I got 3 A's out of all 12 grades. Few B's, mainly 99,000 C's. That's what I got. And I was like, I can't do better than that. And my dad used to get on me because he said, you can do better than that. You just won't, but he wasn't treating me negative because I wasn't getting B's and A's. He wasn't treating me negative. He was just letting me know that it's on me to make the decision about what I want to do and how I'm going to do it better. Now, I did great in other things, just not in school. But guess what? I have a PhD in psychology now, So don't let a C stop you. I got a C in my PhD class. One of my PhD classes I got a C in. And I was like, oh, back to the old days. But I knew I was just kidding myself. But, it was a hard class. And so I took it over because you have to have a B or above. I took it over. And when I took it over, I got an A. So what I'm saying is, kids, young adults, teenagers, don't let a grade prevent you from doing what you're supposed to do on this earth. Don't let your current situation dictate what your entire life is going to be like. Again, I'm talking to kids and teenagers and adults now too. If your parents parent or parents were drug addicts, alcoholics, didn't work, whatever, that doesn't mean you have to follow in their footsteps. Those things are not genetically inclined. They are not hereditary. It is, is alcoholism hereditary? When you look at it from a medical standpoint and a psychological standpoint, yes, it could be. But it is not predestined. It is not predestined that you should be an alcoholic because your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your granddaddy, Auntie Sue, and whoever were alcoholics or drug addicts or whatever they were. It doesn't mean you have to be that. What it means is that you have to look at their circumstances and look at your circumstance, not theirs. I'm sorry. Look at your circumstance, determine where you want to be, and then move forward. And in the direction that you want to go in, not in the direction that they went in, not in the direction that your best friend Johnny is going in. No, I used to tell my children, for years, for hundreds of years, parents have said, okay, if Johnny jumps off the bridge, you're going to jump with him. I didn't say that. What I said was, if Johnny walks in a way that's going to end him up in jail or end him up in a grave, are you following him? And if you are, why? Why are you following him? And a lot of times, sometimes we all follow until we figure out that we are actually the leader and that we can make a turn and we can come in a different direction if we want. God is not going to force us to do anything. God is not going to force us to do the right thing or the wrong thing. God is just going to put in our spirit what we're supposed to do. And then it's up to us to make that decision. So you are not your circumstances does not complete you. Even if you have a great life, you have great parents, you have great family, you have a great school, you have great grades, you have all the greats. That situation does not say you get to sit and just be still and don't do nothing because your life is great, because your life is not great. Your life is not great. So what I want to do is try to make sure, give you some ideas and some pointers about what to do when you feel yourself getting in that rut, when you feel yourself getting in a situation where it's hard for you to figure out which way to go, left or right, okay, or straight or stop. Because sometimes we need to just stop. Just stop, There's a song, I'll just stand still until the way is clear to me. I'll just stand still. Sometimes you just have to stand still. And I would sing it for you, but I got a frog in my throat today, so I'm not going to sing it for you. But don't, just listen to what the Holy Spirit is telling you to do next and then move forward. So here are some circumstances. I already talked about the grades. We talk a lot about relationships. You are in a relationship with someone, you're dating, and you can see that the relationship is not going totally in the direction that you want to go. So you were going kind of cool for a little while. I always say it takes 90 days to know if you're supposed to be with somebody or not. Because on that 91st day, they start acting the way they normally act, So you're cruising through those 90 days. And on the 91st day, something weird happens. It's like, ooh, where did that come from? So now you have to make a decision if you're going to pay attention to that or if you're going to continue cruising, because you know what's happening? That person is going this way and you still going that person. And so now you're like, oh, wait a minute, something's wrong. So then are you going to turn and go towards that person? Or are you going to say, okay, let me stop. Okay, God, what's going on? Because she going that way. And I'm not trying to go that way. Let the Holy Spirit tell you what to do. Holy Spirit might say, oh yeah, that's all right, go on. He's all right, she's all right. Or the Holy Spirit might say, yeah, you just stay right here and see where they going, and we'll work that out later. You know, so listen. Use your eyes and use your ears and listen to what the Holy Spirit is telling you, because the Holy Spirit not going to steer you wrong. Man will, but the Holy Spirit not going to steer you wrong. And even, I'm a psychologist. I love being a psychologist, but there are psychologists in this world will steer you wrong so that you can come back and pay them now $300, $400, $500 a visit whenever. You know, so you have to pray and ask God to continue to give you the right directions to go in any situation. You're on a job. You've been doing a great job. For 25 years, you've been on this job. And you love it. It's a great job. It pays well, great benefits, great hours, all of that. And everything's just cruising along and everything's going well. And then something shifts in the business. Something shifts the way they do their work. Something shifts the way they start treating their clients. Something shifts the way they start treating their employees. You have to stop and decide, do I want to continue in this shift? Do I want to go this way, or do I need to do something else? Because this is not working well with my spirit, you know? So you think about those things and you continue to go through. You continue to go through asking the Holy Spirit to help you. What the Holy Spirit is going to say, well, okay, this is what you got to do. And the Holy Spirit is going to tell you. And if you allow yourselves to hear this Holy Spirit, if you allow yourselves to recognize the voice of the Holy Spirit, if you allow yourselves to just listen and to just go, turn off those demon voices. Turn them off. And the demon voices could be your spouse saying, you can't quit that job making, $70,000 a year. Where are you going to go work making that kind of money at your age? Turn it off. It could be, somebody else. It could be your boss saying, what do you mean you're thinking about making a move? Who going to pay you? Nobody going to pay you what I pay you. Turn it off, because you're trying to hear the Holy Spirit. And you're trying to hear the Holy Spirit telling you, you have enough experience and you have enough money saved up to start your own. And there's a couple people here that would probably follow you, So you want to hear what the Holy Spirit is saying, not what all the demons are saying. But you have to allow yourself to learn how to hear that. And it's not something that just comes up. You have to pray. God, help me to hear your voice. Help me to hear you tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what you want to do. Okay, so what else? There are so many scenarios. My friend and I, we talk all the time about different scenarios, about different things that we could be doing. She could be doing in her profession. I could be doing in my profession. And we are always talking with each other. So find somebody that is like spirit with you. Talk it over with that person. Talk it over with that person. Let them know kind of what you're thinking, what you feel, and how you're going, and let them help you. You help them. And of course, there's always me, Dr. Audrey Ann Moses, Christian life coach. It's always me. But sometimes you need to chat with somebody before you come to me, but just allow people to help you. There's a song that I love to sing. And it's called A Better Day. And it's by this woman. Her name is Eleanor Wright. And she's passed on now, waiting for Jesus to wake her up. And but I remember her from when I lived in Philadelphia. I was a little girl, and her sisters and her cousins used to sing. And she wrote this song called A Better Day. And I'm just going to read you some of the words on it, because I want to see how you can align yourself with God, and God will align you with where you need to be. Okay? So it says, a better day after a while. There will be a better day, a better day. Oh, child, there will be a better day after a while. gonna be a better day after a while. There will be a better day after a while. Now, and as I'm saying this, I want you to think about yourself. Think about where you are right now. I like to do meditations, and have the group have the lights down and all of that. But like I said, I got a little froggy, so I'm not going to sing it to you. But you can find this on YouTube. A Better Day by Eleanor Wright. Wright, W-R-I-G-T-G-H-T. And if you want it, you can send me a text at audreyann'sbooks@yahoo.com, and I'll send you the link. But let's finish this. So think about what you're going through and think about what has to happen in order for it to be a better day. Get you a piece of paper and a pencil. You should have one already anyway when I come on. But have a paper and a pencil, pen, whatever, and start writing some notes down. Okay. I'm going to trade all my troubles in for a lifetime of smiles. I'll forget how hard it's been to run these last few miles. And when Jesus says to me, welcome home, my child, all the bitter heartaches here will surely be worthwhile. Okay, so of course she's talking about going on to glory. But let's talk about going on to the next phase of our life. Let's talk about that. So you're saying, I'm going to trade all my troubles in. So what are your troubles? You know what your troubles are. They could be very personal things like, I really need to exercise more because my health, I need to do something about my health that I can do, So I need to do that. I need to get some more education. I need all of these things that are causing trouble, So you're gonna these things that are causing you to have trouble. Get rid of that man, get rid of that woman. If you're married, go to a marriage counselor. Call me. Talk to God about it. If you're not married, see you later. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That wasn't very professional. Forgive me. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to trade all my troubles in for a lifetime of smiles. I'll forget how hard it's been to run these last few miles. So think about what you've been through. Think about what you've been going through. Think about where it has taken you. Has the last few miles that you've been running, good, bad, or indifferent, have they been taking you in the direction you want to go in, or are they taking you in a different direction? And if they're taking you in a different direction, why? Why? And what do you have to do right then? Stop. Stop running. Stop moving. Stop. Pray. Figure out how to get to where you need to be so that you can do what you're supposed to do. Okay. So it goes on and then it says, when Jesus says to me, welcome home, my child, all the bitter heartaches here will surely be worthwhile. Whenever I see that part, I always think about if I do the things that God put me on this earth to do, and if I help one person, that song says, if I can help somebody as I travel along the way. So if I'm helping somebody, if I'm helping people to understand who Jesus is and how Jesus is not only important in your religious life, but Jesus is important in your physical life. Jesus is important in your financial life. Jesus is important in your social life. Jesus is important in your mental health. Jesus is important in every aspect of your life. Jesus is important. And so it behooves you to try to find out, to pray, to ask Jesus what it is I'm supposed to do next. And how am I supposed to get there? He'll tell you. He'll tell you. The Holy Spirit will tell you. They'll draw you out a map. They'll make sure all the things that you need are in place. You just have to be willing to move in that direction instead of another direction that might seem easier, but it's definitely worse. So look at that. It says, just repeating. So then it says, I'm going to ride on a rainbow road. This is once you see that a better day is coming. There will be a better day. So it says a better day after a while. There will be a better day when you start seeing that better day coming, and you're smiling and more, and you're happy more, and you are feeling more vigorated, and you're feeling the presence of God all around you while you're doing whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. And so, hey, you're moving forward. You're moving forward. Those better days are coming. And then you can say you're riding on a rainbow cloud. You know, now, is life easy? No, because you know those rainbow clouds have some storms back inside of them too. So you know you're riding on a rainbow cloud, and you're just going, and you're just doing, and you're making everybody happy around you, because Jesus is helping you to do what you are supposed to be doing. But more importantly, you are allowing him to help you. You are allowing him. You are allowing him to help you to fade away those dark moments in your life. You know, and I had to live through that. I've told y'all my story, and I'll probably tell it again, you know. But, you know, you have to let Jesus, you have to allow him. You have to allow your brain to stop talking so that you can hear Jesus. You have to allow your brain to stop saying, we just going to be miserable all our lives. We just going to be miserable. We're not going to be nothing. We're not going to have nothing. We're not going to go nowhere. We're not going. No. Never say can't. Never say can't. Y'all know that's my business. Never say can't. So you're riding on this rainbow cloud, and everything is going well. And yeah, you're going to have some bumpy roads, but still, you know that the angels are there, you know, just moving everything along for you, because you have allowed Jesus to give you what you need so that you can do what you're supposed to do. Okay. Now, y'all know I'm not the preacher. There's a bunch of preachers that come on before and after me. I'm not it. What I am is somebody that's going to help you to understand what it means not to have to look around you and only see darkness. You know, to allow your brain to clear, to allow your mind to clear, so that, and part of that clearing is allowing yourself to hear Jesus instead of hearing all the demons. Okay. And what it is allowing yourself to talk to people, professionals like myself, you know, and your friends, to help you to separate all of that muck that's in your life, to separate all the stuff that is causing you from doing what you were born to do. If you are miserable where you work, if when you wake up in the morning, you would rather die than go to work. If you wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, am I still sleeping next to this person? That's not my husband. That's not my wife. You know, oh, am I still living in this old raggedy house? Am I still driving this old raggedy car? Whatever it is, am I living in this raggedy city? It don't matter what it is. If you wake up and you are saying, oh God, why am I still here? Then it means you're not supposed to be there in the first place. You're not supposed to be in that spot in the first place. But only you can move you out of it if you allow the Holy Spirit to help you to figure out how to get out of it. That's your job. That's your job. Even as a professional, I cannot make that decision for you. You have to make that decision on your own. So you want to be on that rainbow cloud, you got work to do. You got work to do, and you got to do it, you know, and you have to allow the things that are in place to help you. You have to not do it for you, but to help you do it. You have to allow that. And so it says, gonna be a better day after a while. And I know that you are going to have better days, because you are going to pray and ask God to help you to hear his voice, hear the voice of the Holy Spirit, hear the voice of your loving Jesus, who all he wants to do is see you happy. You know, reach out to me at any point. You know, I'm always available. Never say can't. at yahoo.com. Never say CAINT at yahoo.com. Dr. Audrey Ann Moses. So just be sure to pray and ask God, where are all this darkness coming from and what do I have to do to fix it? He'll tell you. He'll tell you, you know. So I thank you for being here with me today. Listen to me ramble on for a little bit, but it's all God. It's all truth. And I just want you to live a better life and see those better days. So I thank you. And I do have one quick announcement that I'd like to make. Well, more than one. But first of all, please remember that my new books are out. Jane's Journey is out. If you read Dead Girl Walking, then you know Jane is on her journey. And if you haven't, then definitely read Dead Girl Walking and Jane's Journey. And you can get those off of Amazon. Go to my Amazon page, Dr. Audrey Ann Moses. Or you can reach out to me at Audrey Ann's Books at yahoo.com or Never Say Kate at yahoo.com. Either one. And I can send you the link so you can order and get an autographed copy. So those books are, and you want to get them read because book 3 is on its way. So you want to get book 1 and get book 2 so that you'll be ready for book 3. And at my church here in Greenwood, South Carolina, Zion Temple Seventh-day Adventist Church, it's 1050 Phoenix Street in Greenwood, South Carolina. We are having a food giveaway, canned goods and dry goods, on July 12th from 12:30 to probably about 3. So please come and look out for the advertisements. 1050 Phoenix Street, Greenwood, South Carolina, on July 12th at 12:30. We look for you there. You have a blessed day. I love you. Bye.